Well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and whoever or whatever you identify as. Welcome back to the Shed of Dread and welcome to another video. Right, hopefully you saw my video on Russell T Davies after his recent outburst whilst accepting an award. Now, some people say that I should stop drawing attention to these things because it's just bringing negativity to the show. But in reality, it's doing it itself. Every time Russell T Davies gets a chance to stand in an environment where people will blow smoke up his own arse and tell him he's a wonderful human being, and stands there telling us what we should and shouldn't do, when in reality all he's interested in when it comes to Channel 4 and to the BBC is to protect his own paycheck, there is a bad reflection upon the show. Now, of course, we may all be wrong and he may not do anything about it, but the problem is it emboldens people, and it now shows that there is never going to be a united fandom at Doctor Who ever again. And this is because of his words and his actions and the way that he has been tweeting and things that he's been saying have emboldened a few people to become somehow gatekeepers to Doctor Who. And I'm going to show you and just focus on two tweets by two self-dedicated, self-proclaimed gatekeepers of the fandom, to show you that the problem that I've been trying to tell people about exists and is growing, and showing that it'll never heal. That even though we've had 5 years of what we've had, it's going to carry on. There is going to be nastiness, horribleness, and all that sort of things excuse me, continually perpetuating, mainly because of Russell's actions and the interpretation of such actions and the interpretation of Doctor Who itself. So I'll concentrate on these two particular tweets. I'm not going to go on the answers and replies because, as usual, it's a 50-50 split. It is disturbing that a lot of people think this way. But it's important to draw attention to these two particular tweets because of what they say and what they're actually intimating. So the first one, which will be up screen just there as usual, is from Bad Wolf Archives. Yes, I am going to name them because they need to be named, because what they're saying is not right. As he says here, posted on July 18th, sorry, but how are Republican and Tory Doctor Who fans even a thing, especially in the RTD era? Do they just ignore basic premise and ideals of the show, tune everything the Doctor stands for out, and watch the big spaceships and explosions? Make it make sense. This all stems from a tweet that Russell T Davies actually did, where he called a Republican fan a "see you next Tuesday" because he dared like his show. And what do you mean, especially in the RTD era? Now, I've seen tweets here, and I actually retweeted this, and someone joined in and said something about that Doctor Who's always been a left-wing show, and then promptly interpreted everything that happened in the show to back up the fact that it's a left-wing leading show, which is the same thing that those people who think it's a right-wing show can do the same. In reality, the Doctor is whatever you want him to be. Yes, there are politics, and there always has been politics in the show. But now, because of the way RTD has been speaking, you're now getting people saying that Republicans and Tories, or anyone who's right-wing, doesn't have the right to watch the show anymore. How do I make it make sense? Quite simply, it's people like you that are putting the politics into it, Bad Wolf Archives. It is you who are politicising the show for your own agenda, emboldened, no doubt, by the continual rantings of Russell T Davies. Now, on all the videos that I've done on my channel before, I've warned you that this is not the Russell T Davies of 2005, it is the Russell T Davies of 2022. I warned you that you're not getting the same thing. Will this reflect on the show? Who knows? But the simple truth of the matter is, you're now getting people like Bad Wolf Archives wondering why anyone who's right wing has the right to watch the show, because it is everything the Doctor isn't, which of course is a load of shit. Somebody said, oh well, you know, it's always been left wing, it's always this, he's anti-gun. He's anti-gun not because he's a left-winger, he's anti-violence because of all the killing that he has done. And all the killing he's done, if he's left-wing, would therefore make him a communist, would it not? But it doesn't. He doesn't like using guns because of what they represent, not because of a political leaning. Only your projection of such an opinion makes it a particular political leaning. The comments, the answers to this tweet are multiple. I mean, at the moment there's 58. I'm not going to go, it's 50-50. Some people agree, some people don't. Some people are gatekeeping, some people aren't. Some people are gaslighting. It's the same boring, predictable bullcrap that rolls out of people's voices. Well, you see, but the thing is, everybody I know, when I've said these things about watch out for Russell T Davies in identity politics, go, oh no, it's never going to happen. But this guy here seems to think that it is political, and it is all going to be about left-wing politics, because why would right-wing people think this? Why do we need the urge to politicise everything? Surely it's just a TV show, and it shouldn't really matter as long as you enjoy it. I don't understand why we have to make things all political. I mean, let's just have a quick click on there. Let's see. No, hold on, I've got it wrong. Let's just see what's been said. Right, it's just loading up. I mean, a lot of it's trolling. There are a lot of people for and a lot of people against. The Doctor is a fierce individualist and anti-establishment. He's clearly not left-wing. Do not measure the original series next to your present-day garbage, which is a fair comment. Believe it or not, some Tories even wrote for RTD in his first era, even episodes you have fondness for. Things like Unicorn and the Wasp. I mean, other people say, oh well, Doctor Who and Star Trek have always been woke. No, it's not woke. The original series of Doctor Who and the original series of Star Trek dealt with political things in a subtle and clever way by not making those things the focus of the show. They are there for you to notice or not notice. They aren't the core reason for the show, because politics shouldn't be. Someone here put I'm in the middle of the road, which again, they're not going to. I look at things critically and try to find the best of both worlds. As to why far right, therefore you're not middle of the road, sir or madam. You are correct. They ignore the bits they hate or disagree with and cherry pick the episodes they do like. Incorrect. There are many episodes through Classic and New Who which deal with politics in a subtle way. But not anymore. Now these things have to be rammed down his throat. It makes no sense of any era of the series. The Doctor and the Ether has always been fundamentally anti-Republican. No, it hasn't. It's only an issue now because of idiots who don't want to admit the fact that it's just a show. I humbly argue that the Doctor is very much one of those people who got up from their bootstraps, whatever the phrase, and used his own initiative to acquire something and do whatever he wanted, which fits into the right-wing self-image. You mean working hard and bettering yourself makes you right-wing? Oh, I think they watch hoping they'll be triggered. I think you'll make comments like this hoping that people are triggered. Philip Hinchcliffe was essentially a Tory. No one asks how left-wing fans can enjoy his era. Forget the politics of William Hartnell. If people like the show, they can like it for any number of reasons. Exactly. But please, before we go any further, let's just remember who's actually politicising the show. And then we get to this tweet up here. Now, this is by Owen, whoever this moron is. Now, as you'll see here, he's blocked me. I've never even known this guy exists. So what we'll do is we'll say what we want to say and block anyone who'll come against it. But I have the tweet back up there and I'll read it for you. Doctor Who have no place for homophobes, transphobes, racists, sexists, misogynists, Republicans, Tories, UKIPers, right-wingers, Nazis and xenophobes. If you're one of all these things, then get the fuck out of here. You're not welcome and will never be. Who the fuck put you in charge, Owen? Oh, before you go any further, you may have blocked my account, but there are people who like you, who are also my friends, and you've only been watching it since New Who. You're probably a 20-something who knows nothing about anything, and are so brave in your words that you will block people without them even knowing you existed, just in case they argued with you. Well, you may have blocked me on Twitter, but you've not blocked me on here. So I am now going to take major exception to what you just put. No place for homophobes, transphobes, racists, sexists, misogynists, Republicans, Tories, UKIP, right-wingers, Nazis and xenophobes. Who made you God? Who gave you the right to decide who can and can't watch a fucking TV programme? You jumped up little twit, you. Oh, and then block anyone who may pull you up on this, which is the standard behaviour of a left wing. Now, you see, the thing is, you are being all of the things that you claim here aren't welcome. In fact, it usually is the left wing that are all this. You have no right to tell anyone whether or not they would like to watch a TV show. This up here is everything that is wrong with the Doctor Who fandom, and which is why it will never ever heal. Which is why no matter how good what comes out, you will get shit like this. None of that that's said on there has any basis in reality at all. This is what pisses me off. It's just a fucking TV show. I don't have the right to tell anyone what they can and can't do, and nor do you, Owen, whoever the fuck you are. But to then do it and then hide and hope that no one dares challenge you except for those people who live in your pathetic little echo chamber, oh, that's fine. But I want you to show me the evidence of how a Tory watcher influences the show. And how you would know. You haven't got the right to tell people that. None whatsoever. Just like Bad Wolf Archives. You ain't got the right to ask that. What you're both inferring is it now is what we've all been saying, a left-wing propaganda show. Because now you're saying we shouldn't watch it if you're right-wing because it's our left-wing show. Which at the moment, for the last 5 years, it most definitely has been. This is why this fandom will never heal. This is why there's going to be continual arguments. This is why people will make videos like I'm making right now. Now, I could have just ignored this, but why should I? Because the one thing is, unlike some people who say, oh, I'm middle of the road, I take it both ways, but, you know, right-wingers are arseholes. I do sit in the middle. Because as you will find in all my videos that I've done, I have no sides because I don't believe in sides. Sides is something you do in a childish playground setting. It's a show. It's, as I've said many, many times before, it's a fucking TV show. Usually argued over by dickheads like this who literally know nothing, who will quite gladly sit there and pontificate and gatekeep something they know nothing about. Nothing at all. It is, I just, to say that. And the thing is, this is what happens when you get your showrunner, the big man, the man at the top, ranting and raving against right wingers. Even though sexists, well, you see, the thing is, you with that list there, homophobes, transphobes, racists, sexists, misogynists, they're the excuse when anyone wants to pick fault with something that is justifiable. It is the go-to. And all these words that you've just used in this tweet now mean nothing, thanks to idiots like you lobbing them around. Making yourself the speaker of the fandom. No one is. No one, but no one on this planet has the right to tell you what you can and can't watch. You have no place. If you are so strong in your beliefs, and this, as you can see, was the 18th of July. If you're so strong in your beliefs, why do you block anyone who will challenge you? As I said, I'd never even heard of you, and you blocked me. Why? Oh, because you saw that I might have tweeted something that you thought, oh, I'm not arguing with him. You're a coward, sir, or madam, or whatever the heck you are. Really don't give a shit. You got no right to do this. Bad Wolf Archives, you got no right to ask that question. Because who made you in charge? Who made you to? And I know there are hundreds of others who feel exactly the same way as this. Who made you God? I'm not telling you what you can and can't watch. You do whatever you want to do. But if you're going to start throwing insults around like that, perhaps you'd have the courage of convictions to stand instead of blocking people. But frequently I find that people like this are cowards who will have a shout at you and then block you. See, now, I don't block many people. I like to put them on mute because it really pisses them off. Because it's just... But I have courage over my convictions. I will sit here, and I have been proven wrong on many occasions, and I've apologised if I'm wrong. But you can't do this. You can't throw wild accusations and demand that people don't watch something because you said so. Now, I know full well that both Owen and whoever runs Bad Wolf Archives would probably say this to you from along the other side of the road. They'd never say it to your face. Because all I turn around and say to Owen is, where's your proof of that? Not what you think people are saying. Proof. Oh, right, so people will be sexist and misogynistic because they didn't like Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, even though 99.9% of people didn't like it because it didn't work, and there were very valid reasons. Homophobes, where? You see, the thing is, I find with a lot of people on the left wing and feminists and all these sort of people like to take a very small minority of whatever, you know, the tiny little group, and tar everybody with the same brush. Like, if one person says something that's homophobic, all of us are homophobic. Yet, funnily enough, on the left wing, it's the small minority that insist that everybody change their views to suit their opinion. And if you don't, you're one of these words that this brave keyboard warrior type person has managed to type up. If this is how it's going to be, which it is obviously going to be, so if you honestly believe that the Russell T Davies era was going to be great and it's going to heal the fandom, big news for you, it ain't. So you think the last 5 years have been bad and, you know, it's going to be great to see the end of it. It won't be, because of dickheads like this. And the more that Russell T Davies pontificates upon the platform and rants and raves, the more this will be the thing. Where now It's not whether or not you watch it because you don't like the Doctor, but because of your political leanings, because apparently that means you can and can't watch stuff. This is the world that we currently live in, ladies and gentlemen. A world that is messed up, screwed up, and is just, well, pointless. There's so many things that are wrong in the world this day because of people like this. People who make brash and raving judgments on anyone and everything without any evidence, any proof, or even the courage to stand by their convictions without blocking you. There are many, many, many injustices in this world that have been done recently because of people having opinions like that and immediately judging somebody and not bothering to even bother to see if it's actually true. There are things going on in this world that I'm just annoyed at. There are things and recent things that I've been made aware of which are backs these idiots up. These are the people who destroy people's careers, destroy people's livelihoods, cancel people. Yeah, these are the new witch hunt people. Yeah, I see a witch. Why? Because he doesn't agree with me. Well, why does he agree with me? Oh, I don't know. He's homophobic. Got any evidence of that? Don't need it. Burn him at the stake. So for all of you, the few people have said to me, I shouldn't be saying anything about the way Russell T Davies is doing this and Russell T Davies is doing that, because he's going to be wonderful. He's going to save the show. He's going to heal the fandom. He's going to make Doctor Who again brilliant again. Sorry, you're wrong. Because of this. And because these morons have people who believe what they say. But of course, only allowing the conversation from those who believe. Do I think Russell T Davies will make Doctor Who right again? As I said, and as I've always said, I'll wait and see. But it doesn't matter how good it is or how brilliant it is. People like this are going to twist it and turn it and make it something it's not. Just like Bad Wolf Archives, which, you know, the tweet that's coming back up there. Right there. So I'm bringing it back up. What gives him the right to say that? Because this is what it's going to be like, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it's going to be like. It doesn't matter how good the show is. This is what you're going to get. They don't do this because they like the show. They do this because they live for self-gratification, for the feeling of they're worth something, and oh, look what I've done, and oh, I've triggered this, and oh, I've triggered that. Sitting in your basement, no life experience, no fucking idea what you're talking about. Because it's all about your mates and your likes and your clicks, and that's all that matters. You have no idea about life. None whatsoever. And how dare you judge anyone for what they watch because of their political leanings? And if you're, or in fact in reality, let's not even worry about the political leanings. It's whether or not they agree with you because for some unknown reason you think you're fucking God and everybody else is wrong. But hey, what do I know? Just a fat bloke sitting in his shed surrounded by his toys. You let me know what you think. Comment section down below. You know the rules. I'm sure some people will get quite arsey about this. I don't give a shit. I really don't, because I'm sick of this. When he made those, when Russell T Davies stood on those platforms, I tried to warn people that it will make it political. Evidence, receipts. It's become political. Now it's not whether or not you like a woman doctor or a male doctor. It's whether you're right wing or you're left wing. Because that's what matters now. It's just shit. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good Doctor Who's going to be. We're fucked. You're going to have to put up with this. And you know what? over a fucking TV show. What's the point? And with that, I'm going to bring this video to a close. If you enjoyed this video, please do what Dave the Hand is doing right now. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you, Dave. If you want to see some more videos like this, then please feel free to subscribe. The little icon is down there. Also, it's down in the middle, I think, now on YouTube or wherever. You click on that, you'll subscribe. Right next to that is a bell. Ding the bell, and you will get a notification. Well, rephrase that. Should get a notification from YouTube that I've done another video. And with that, and as always, and until the next one, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for your time. It's always much appreciated.